Hey guys, what's up? We're here with a new game called The Novelist. Seeing as December has been quite a slow month for new game releases, I've been looking forward to this game quite a long time. Essentially since I kind of read about it and as well watched the trailer. This game looked very interesting right from the start. You're kind of starting as this middle-aged guy who's a writer, who has a family, a wife, a son, and they're kind of having, I don't know if I should say rough patch, but it's you kind of, during the game, you have to balance out all these things which are very real life situations. Even though you could, and I feel like it's something that everyone at one point in their life can definitely relate to, even though it's not directly relatable. For example, he has a career to manage, he has his relationship with his wife to manage, as well as being a father to his own child. And he kind of has to make choices which can affect one point for the good and the other thing for bad. For bad, for example. Like if he works too hard on he's a writer, so if he's working on his newest novel, so if he works too hard on his novel, for example, he might neglect his wife, who feels neglected, and then their relationship would kind of go downhill. And if he's not paying enough attention to his son, then he would seem like a bad father, or his son would just end up being screwed up. I don't know, maybe be a serial killer. Of course that won't happen, but at least not if your father just kind of not pays enough attention to you, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna show you that I'll be a serial killer. That would not happen, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about serial killers. Okay, enough about that. This is it's a stealth based game. So you're kind of playing as yourself in kind of you're sort of like a ghost. I guess that's the best way of explaining it. You're moving around, and you can't actually be or shouldn't be seen by the people living in the house. And you can kind of explore every situation. I believe you're making choices for the writer guy himself, but you're seeing everything from your own perspective, not from Dan's perspective. And that way you can actually make choices a lot better than rather only seeing it from his perspective. So I feel like this is going to be a very good game, and it's very narrative heavy as well, I believe. So which is why I'm probably not going to be talking a whole lot during the game. After finishing the game though, I'll probably have some thoughts about it, which I will then talk about after the game, of course. So yeah, let's do this. New game. I've talked enough for now. Let's play. Difficulty stealth. The Kaplans will be able to see you, so stay out of sight. Story: the Kaplans won't be able to see you, so explore freely. Let's go for stealth. Would you like to play through a brief tutorial? It is recommended for new players. I might as well just show it. I haven't played yet, of course, but which is why. Okay, I'll shut up.
This is it.
Wow, look at this place.
Still can't believe the deal we got.
Where's my room?
Right up there, buddy.
Look at the letter on the dining room table and read it by pressing space. Mr. Kaplan, welcome to your home for the summer. We're very excited to have you. This is one of our most popular properties, and I'm sure you and your family will have a memorable visit. We have booked you through August 31st. Your security deposit has cleared, and our cleaning service freshened everything up on Saturday. You can buy groceries at McLeod's in town, and if you'd like to eat dinner out there are quite a few restaurants on Meriden Avenue, I think, just off Fairview. If you have any questions or run into any trouble at all, please don't hesitate to call Pete, Fuller, Hannigan Rentals, Sydney Bluffs OR. OR, I don't know what that is. Is it an American state, or is it maybe because it's Sydney I'm thinking of Australia, but I don't know. Oh, I don't think that's very important though. Get the light fixture and try to possess it. The Kaplans cannot see you while you're possessing a light fixture, so possession is the safest way to explore. You can jump from one light fixture to another in order to move through the house unseen. Use possession to reach the office upstairs. I need to go upstairs. Office. Is that that should be the room with the open door.
We'll be back in a little bit.
Okay.
Your goal in each chapter is to figure out the dilemma facing Dan and decide how he should resolve the situation. Each member of the family desires a different outcome, and it's up to you to decide which path to take. If you remain undetected and learn the desires of more than one character, you can uncover compromises that will help the family. After a week at the house, the what? Return to the office upstairs and look for a clue. The office was here. Dan's journal is on the desk. Read it.
Writer's block. I can't believe I just wrote that. Writer's block. There, again. Those two words are apparently the only damn thing I can write. I don't think it's been this bad since high school. Mr. Holder's class, an essay about Faulkner. Dan Kaplan, little-known author of Tramer's Way and Windsong, has run out of steam. Closed my eyes last night and saw a literary register article about myself. That was the first line. Paul wants 3 chapters next week, and so far I've got 2,000 words so sloppy I can barely read them. I cannot blow my schedule. Paul said Grovefield's been very clear about what comes next if I keep slipping deadlines. Why did this happen as soon as we got here? This was supposed to simplify things, but so far it's been nothing but staring at a blank page. Maybe a walk will help, or a long drive, or a drink.
No, don't drink. Drinking is bad. No, it's not. Drinking is awesome. Okay. But it seems like they moved to this house as sort of to get away from everything because they are kind of having trouble as a family, as well as himself having trouble with his career, writing a book. It's something that I believe a lot of writers, not only just novel or book writers, but also like songwriters do. They just get away from everything and just let the ideas in their head go their free way. I don't even know, but when they're just kind of away from everything, inspiration hits, and then that's when they're able to do their most brilliant work. I don't know. Each character has a number of writings or drawings to discover. You found one of Dan's. Now that you know what's troubling him, you should search the house for him to discover more about his dilemma. Look for Dan in the upstairs bedroom. Oh, there he is. When you look at a character, you can press space to see what they're thinking about. If this doesn't work, this kind of seems like it's a last resort or something. The cloud around Dan's head indicates that he's remembering specific moments from the past. You have the ability to explore his memories to learn more about the current chapter. Approach Dan from behind and press space to enter his memory. If this doesn't work, sneak up behind Dan and press space to enter his memory. Now that you've entered Dan's memory, you can explore it freely. Follow the sounds to locate different memory moments that are on his mind. When you find a specific moment, press space to uncover more about what's troubling Dan in this chapter. You can exit Dan's memory whenever you wish, and you can return to it anytime it by approaching him from behind and pressing space. That sounds kind of bad. Okay.
Do you think coming here will help?
It has to.
This really is like a last resort, the last hope. Alright, found 2 out of 3. Oh, that must be the last one. Sitting at the table over there.
Tommy rode into town with me today. He saw some kids his age playing on the swings at the park, and I could tell he wanted to go play with them. It got me thinking, did we swing the pendulum too far just to get him away from those bullies? Kids can bounce back quick sometimes. What if this is the worst thing we could have done? Then he asked how Daddy's book was going, and without even thinking, I said, "Great, my man." Felt awful right away. It's a white lie, sure, but why not be honest? When he was younger, he was just a bundle of physical needs, but now he's like a mental, emotional sponge. He's around Linda and me all the time, and I can see him changing every day in 1,000 small ways. That scares the hell out of me. What am I teaching him with a white lie?
That lying is okay, sometimes, if it's for the best. You have found all the moments in this character's memory. You can come back and re-examine them at any time, or you can exit and explore other characters' memories. So I believe we've already discovered everything in this particular memory of Dan, so we'll just exit it.
Dan, we're back!
Hey, Mommy. Hey.
Now that Linda and Tommy are home, you should look for their clues, discover what's on their mind, and explore their memories. Remember to stay out of their sight and use possession to keep from alerting the Kaplans. If you remained undetected, you can earn additional opportunities to influence their story. Let's see. They're home. Where's this little guy? Gonna win this time. So much to paint. Can explore her memory.
I think we've done a good job of putting on happy faces for Tommy. If he knows there's something wrong, he's not showing it. We told him this is just a fun family vacation, and he seems to like it here so far. But this might be it for Dan and me. Neither one of us has said the word yet, but I know it's right there under the surface. We've been dancing around it. I can't even bring myself to write the word here. Writing it would be almost as bad as saying it, because once it's there, it becomes real, a thing we have to deal with. I'm not ready for that yet. We agreed to make this a fresh start. I meant it. I think he did too. Now we just have to treat each day like a new beginning.
What word is she talking about? It's not divorce, right? You can press tab to see your progress and find out what you need to do to move forward. You can press escape to help screen adjust everything. Okay.
Me too.
Me too. Me too what? Look at this loving... I thought they were holding 2 hands. Lazy. Very lazy. You need to hold both hands. That's how you show your true passion, your love. Okay, I don't know. I don't know shit about love. That's the second memory. Where's the third one? It's not in the kitchen. Perhaps it's upstairs then. Let's check this room. Oh no, this is his writing room or office. This is their bedroom. Wait, were there 3 or were there only 2? I can't remember now. Apparently there's more exploring to do. She She was sitting there before.
Me too.
From her perspective,
promise.
I promise. I promise that everything will be alright.
I think we've done a good job of.
I guess that's it for her memory.
Vroom, vroom. Hey, look.
Ooh, nicely done.
She's reading a letter.
How's my man?
Pretty good.
Whoa.
I was I'm pretty good. Whoa. She was like, oh my god, he talked to his son. That's not how he hasn't neglected his son like that, has he? While possessing a light fixture, you can press E to make it flicker. This will cause nearby characters to investigate light fixtures for a short period of time. Use this ability to lure characters away from areas you wish to explore. We need to find more clues about both Tommy as well as... wait. The light in his room. Just us all summer. Have to sneak up behind him. Explore memories. Drawing of him and his dad. What else is there? Follow the sound. I think they're all upstairs. Oh, there. You can actually go outside. Or not.
Are there any other kids?
We'll have to find out.
Oh, I feel so lonely. Well, obviously at that age, you're very playful, I guess. So being around other kids is obviously something that you would want as a child. I think that's all. Let's see. Oh, that's his dad. Is he crying? He's seeing his dad kind of struggle writing this novel or book. 1 out of 3 Tommy clues found. You always see him playing. We already found that. Should be careful not to get spotted. He's going downstairs. Maybe there's something in this room. Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan, I hope this reaches you before you leave for the summer. I know we went over this in my office, but I think Tommy is a wonderful child and I feel better putting him in my recommendation in writing. Children develop at different speeds and Tommy shows no sign of a serious learning disorder. So the most important thing is to be patient and supportive. Make sure he does his reading exercises each day in a calm, loving environment. Make sure not to show disappointment when he struggles, which he will at first. Show encouragement when he succeeds, as self-confidence is critical at his age. If he fails to make progress with the exercises I've included, you may want to take him to the local pediatrician for further recommendations. I hope this is of some help. I look forward to seeing Tommy this September. Mrs. Macmillan. Is this teacher or something? You've discovered enough about this character to find out how they want to resolve this chapter. Read their thoughts to learn how you can help them. I kind of want to read this though. Ideas. Alice, Listens in on the phone call. Problem. Ruins sympathy for Alice. Solvable? Probably not. Too cheap plus easy. Scene at the lake. Alice sees them there. Could definitely work. Comeuppance for Scott. Alice stays innocent. Sarah sees who Scott really is. Yeah, I think that works. Are these actual people, or is this for his book?
Hi, Dad.
Hey, buddy.
Read Dan's thoughts to see what he wants. I kind of want to find more clues, though. Is there anything here? The shoes. I don't think there's anything upstairs. Ooh, what's that? Another drawing. Him and his dad playing. Like the racing car track or something. So wrapped up in his book. What's this?
It's such a crazy thought, the three of us all alone in this house all summer. I never thought we could afford a place like this, but the price surprised us both when we saw it. I wonder if there's something wrong with it. Maybe it has a raccoon problem or a toilet that backs up.
Or a ghost.
Guess we'll find out soon enough. Oh, and I'm painting again. I got set up today. I felt a buzz right away. So much time to work. I haven't had a space like this in forever, probably since I left the studio. I went straight into a new piece today, got lost, looked up to see it was 2 hours later. I think this new one has promise, though I still have some rust to shake off. Speaking of which, I'm going to go check on Dan and see if his new office is doing anything for him. He's pretty frustrated, but he has to figure something out soon, or this place won't be any different than home.
Yeah, it seems like they left their normal house to kind of come to this summer vacation house to get away from things, find inspiration, find a different environment to work in. Let's have a look. Only 1 out of 3 Linda clues. Where's my notebook? I know I had something good. To choose this character's outcome, find the object in blue text and select it. You can continue exploring the house if you'd like to discover what other characters want to do. Character desired objects can be viewed by pressing tab. Notebook, search the house for more clues. Read his thought for the final clue. Me and Daddy can play Racing Roger. I know where that is. Can still make it work. We need to find out more about her though, about Linda. Could it possibly be in their room? But that's where he is right now. There's a note next to this.
Like it always.
Going to kill me if I don't break through. What?
Barb, how are things? Is school still taking up all of your time, or is anything new going on? We've been up here for a week or so, and I can already tell it's going to be great for painting. There are hardly any distractions, and this house has a room they called the conservatory in the brochure, which really just means it has a lot of windows. Whatever they call it, it's a great space for working. The second floor blocks most of the northern light, but I'll manage. I took Tommy down to the beach today, and you should have seen how excited he was. I wish I'd brought my camera. He kept looking back up at the house like he couldn't believe it was so small from down there. He seems to have taken to this place really well so far, which is such a load off our minds. We didn't know what to expect, but so far, so good. Anyway, let me know how things are going. Yours, Linda.
Read Linda's thoughts to see what she wants. What do you want, woman?
Want to grab a bite later?
Yeah, let's do.
We could have a bottle of wine and hang out like we used to.
Blast off!
Just have to focus on leaving all of that back home. There's gotta be some sort of problems or something. Alright, let's see. Notebook. We'll just go for Dan's first. That should... Notebook. Let's see. Is it that one? Selecting the notebook will choose Dan's resolution for this chapter. Linda and Tommy will be disappointed. However, if you discover Linda or Tommy's desired outcome, you haven't spooked them, you'll be able to find a compromise with one of them in the next chapter. Press escape to continue playing or E to choose Dan's outcome and finish the chapter. This prompt can be used to blah blah blah. Oh, I get it. So in this writer's block, you can kind of see what they want. Dan is really focused on this book, which is why he wants to find this notebook. There are kind of ideas in it which can help him further with the development of the book, I guess, of the story. Whereas Linda, we could all have a bottle of wine. That probably doesn't include their child. Maybe just trying to rekindle their fire that used to be there. See, because it says hang out like we used to. So Linda really wants just to kind of connect back with Dan the way they used to earlier in their marriage or before they were married, you know, when they fell in love. And Tommy, me and Daddy can play Race and Roger. Tommy just really wants to play with his father. He wants to play a game. He just... I don't know. This is a really difficult situation, but because I kind of know all of the options, I can choose to kind of make it up in the next chapter with one of the other characters. But so the way that it apparently goes, you choose one, you disappoint one, and you can kind of make up with the other one. So you have to, out of the 3 options, you have to sack one at least, so one will be definitely disappointed. I mean, for Dan it's all about the book. For Linda it's all about family, love, relationship, and Tommy's just father-son moment, I guess. It's so sad for the child, but the game is called The Novelist, so should I go for the book, or... I'm kind of struggling between Dan and Tommy, and then later make it up with Linda, which is what you usually do in a marriage, right? When you're married, you kind of like, oh, I'll make it up to you, honey, I'll make it up to you later. Like when you want to go to the baseball game or something, watch that. When you had other plans with your wife, I'll make it up to you later, it'll be fine. I guess I could do that, be the standard husband. But then if I think I'm gonna go with Tommy, and then his book, yeah. This is so difficult. It's so sad to let this child suffer from everything though. And to once play with this, I think if you create one memorable moment with your son, it's something that he can hang on to, I suppose. And that's something that that will stay with him for a while. I mean, if you play with him once, he's not gonna be like, oh, play with me every single day, right? He's gonna enjoy and embrace the fact that you actually did play with him that once. So I think I'm gonna go with Tommy on this one, and then make up with Linda later, and then his book will have to suffer, but then I can put more emphasis on the book later on. Race and Roger, where is it? It was in his... there it is. Selecting Race and Roger will choose Tommy's resolution for this chapter. Dan and Linda will be disappointed. However, if you... yeah. Alright, let's choose this one. Kaplans are asleep. Explore the house for clues about its past. Then whisper your decision to Dan. They're asleep, so I can just freely walk around. I think there's something on the table. By playing carefully and learning the desires of more than one character, you've earned the ability to find a compromise with any character you didn't spook in the previous chapter. You can only select one character for a compromise. Press tab to view possible compromises. Notebook, bottle of wine. What were we gonna do? I guess... Is this book going... Yeah, I'll make it up with the... Where was the wine? Wasn't it in the kitchen? There it is. Select the wine. Selecting the wine will choose Linda's compromise for this chapter. You can only select one compromise per chapter. Let's do it. Alright, we've selected that. From the desk of Harold Baxter, January 15, 1948. Mr. Lowry finally gave in and agreed to let me inspect the house. I believe he simply grew tired of hearing me ask, although I think deep down he knows I'm correct. A property like this simply doesn't change hands every year or two without a reason. I noticed the pattern when I was cleaning out old files in his house kept coming up. It's changed owners 7 times in the last 13 years. I began digging and not a single one of the sales was financially motivated. People just seemed to keep deciding that they'd rather live somewhere else, which doesn't add up in my mind. The view is striking. The isolation and privacy alone make it a great property. The remoteness can't be an issue. Certainly no one who can afford this kind of home needs to work for money. It's a mystery, but that's why I'm here. You mean that's why I'm here? I believe we needed to whisper something in Dan's ear, as weird as that may sound. Let's look at the little kid sleeping. Tommy. Aww. You should fly my kite. Ah, look at him with his hand. I also sleep very strange like that. My arms just up in the air, like I don't care. Hell yeah. Oops, did that wake him? Definitely not the button I wanted to press. A little each day. I kind of sleep like Dan as well, but then on my back, not on my stomach. Hope this works. She's so worried. Right, let's whisper. Dan couldn't stop thinking about how important it was. No! I hope you guys were able to read that. The next night, Linda decided to have the bottle of wine herself after giving up hope that Dan would take a night off for them to catch up. She was a glass and a half into the bottle when he surprised her by coming down to help her finish it. And though they didn't get a whole night together, it was better than another evening apart. Dan couldn't get past his writer's block. He laid awake for 3 nights trying to think of a way out of this jam, but he couldn't come up with one. He had to stay on schedule, so he forced himself to write a scene just to keep moving. He hated each word as he typed it, but he had no choice.